The gameplay keeps it coming.
More Payback gameplay is here, starting with this screen here, which is the loading screen. As you can tell, it shows the day and night cycle. Had to point that out because some people still don't know that there's day and night in the game. It's like one of the first things they announced. But the map also shows some really cool areas that are definitely going to be used for drifting. If you're along the embankments there, the sides, and the actual dam itself, there's going to be a lot of fun to drift around that area. Personally, that's what I'm feeling anyway. Also showing some side bets information. Win the race. Hit a speed of 120 miles an hour. Put in 950 and you get out 4,750. So it shows that it's going to have a big kind of jump on the money. You can have, I imagine, later on in the game, maybe you're going to get even more money because, for example, the player is level 3. Don't necessarily know if this is a race at the beginning of the game because the vehicle's quite a good one. Introducing SUVs in Need for Speed Payback. Now, I don't know if there's actually ever been announced any SUVs in the game. We know that there has been some in around the AI and that kind of thing, and we knew there were pickup trucks because we saw a Raptor in some of the screenshots. Well, we've now got the BMW X5M. I can't tell the difference between the X5M and the X6M thing. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but can we just pause for a second? Appreciate exactly what's happening here. This is an SUV being used off-road like it should be. It's going on the sand, it's going on the dirt, it's going up a jumps, it's doing all the suspension jumpiness that it should be doing because it's an SUV. Thank you, Ghost Games, for actually making use of a proper SUV. In case you did miss it though, at the beginning of the race, there are crowds at the side cheering you on, getting you hyped for the race. I imagine there'd be more people in a city area because this is literally in the middle of like nowhere, literal nowhere, which we'll see as we progress through the event. Me and you need to talk. How about the off-road handling? How does it feel? It feels but like off-road handling, as we've experienced from cars during missions and stuff that we've played already before. We can see that we get mad slowdown when we're actually driving a normal car off-road. When you drive an off-road car off-road, you're gonna drive a lot better. Now, there are actually tuning settings specific for off-roading, which we didn't get to show you in this because we can't do it in a race. We're gonna do it in the open world to test and tune. But there are abilities to actually change how this car handles, and obviously, as you can tell, it's sliding straight away. And honestly, across the board, it slides. From what I can remember, you can change if there's more weight at the front or rear, depending on that'll change how it turns, if it's much more precise, or if it slides into the corners and loses less momentum, that sort of stuff. There are tuning settings there to make this change a little bit, but the off-road handling, I'm happy with, which is kind of a hard thing to do. The only game that I've really played recently that does very good off-road handling is obviously Dirt, a rally game, so you should hope that does it well. Obviously, when you go onto the road, it's going to drive faster because it's a car. No matter what you tune it to, it's going to drive faster on the road. But when you go to off-road, the race cars or the street cars are going to fall much further behind you than you would in a off-road car. It'd be interesting to see how it's going to handle in different situations. Are there going to be more places with like hard packed down dirt? Obviously, there's the light dirt across the top of the road, so it's going to slide a little bit around. Or will there be just pure rock, for example, that we can drive along? I'm interested to see how this all works and how it plays and how it feels when you go to different areas and when you tune different cars. For example, I want to try the Raptor. The Raptor would be amazing. Hopefully, it does work off-road, because if not, that's a bit silly, isn't it? Every time I see a different part of the map, or just in general driving around a map in a game, there isn't normally much. My mind doesn't explore very often, unless it's the crew. But now with Need for Speed, I see an area, I see a bunch of rocks, I'm like, I want to drive up there. I want to see how this thing goes when it drives up some rocks, or attempts to, or drives near them. I have so many questions about going off and exploring, because obviously this is a confined event. But the fact that it is confined, it pushes my mind to think, can we go up there? Can we explore there? Can we drive up there? Can we jump off of that cliff?
Yes, Theo, that's a good mindset you have there.
In the last video I showed you, which was the cops footage, I was constantly thinking there as well, is this going to let me go off and explore? It's possibly one of my favorite things to do, and what a lot of gamers get wrong, in where it doesn't have to encourage me to go off-road. Don't force me off-road. What you need to do is make me go, oh, there's an area there. That looks interesting. Let me go and check it out. Don't let me do it in a race car, all right? Don't let me go 200 miles an hour off-road in a race car. Another thing to pick up on is the score meter that's happening throughout the event. It's pretty much a multiplier that adds up your score. So I'm guessing from drifting, from, I don't know, near misses, all that kind of stuff. It's going to add up, and it basically gives you red. It had a similar system in the previous game, but this one looks much more defined. And honestly, I didn't really notice it again until after a while, but I kind of like that. It's an element that's there there, but I can ignore it completely. I don't have to know it exists, because normally those things I don't really care about. Another question I have on my mind is, what about the police? We've seen police chases happen on the road. But what happens when you take them off-road? What happens if you're in this type of vehicle and you take them off-roading? Are they going to keep up well? I imagine that the early on cops are going to handle well, and the Rhino, but I don't imagine the vets are going to handle too well in that instance. So is off-roading just going to decimate the police, or are the cops smart enough to go off-road? Because they haven't mentioned any specific off-road police in the article we've seen. It's just literally those vehicles. But I mean, muscle cars to be fair, the Chargers in real life, most of them, from what I've been seen in America, they're all-wheel drive, which is freaking terrifying, which is also good because they'll actually be able to keep up on Need for Speed. But I'd love to see you try put some Corvettes off-road. There was one in the trailer, wasn't there? I forgot about that. I'm so excited to explore this map and actually explore it off-road this time, which is something that I've never been able to do in a Need for Speed game before, as far as I'm aware, other than like a little specific defined road in, say, Hot Pursuit, which is a shortcut, which, again, lets me go through it at about 300 miles an hour in my Lamborghini. Make sure to let me know what your thoughts on this gameplay are. What does this gameplay make you want to try? What does it make you want to see what the handling's like off-road and on-road? Does it make you want to go off and explore and crash into as many rocks as possible, like myself? I'm definitely going to do videos on hitting many rocks. It makes me think of challenges in where, like I did on the crew, where we do a race of an off-road car and an on-road car, take different routes and see which does better, and actually take the other cars and swap the roles and do all these kind of things. I just can't wait to explore this game with you guys. We get to do it together, a whole new experience. Thanks for watching, and be sure to absolutely smash the like, subscribe if you are new, and as I said, let me know down in the comments what you're gonna do on this game. For what you want to know more information on, I personally, again, like I said on the crew, I want to see more customization. Until next time, guys, peace.